Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning oil. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened.
I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory, and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. Psalm 110. The Lord said unto my Lord, Sit thou at my right hand, until I make thine enemies thy footstool. The Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thine enemies. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. In the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning, thou hast the dew of thy youth. The Lord hath sworn, and will not repent. Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. The Lord at thy right hand shall strike through kings in the day of his wrath. He shall judge among the heathen. He shall fill the places with the dead bodies. He shall rule the heads over many countries. He shall drink of the brook in the way. Therefore shall he lift up the head.
Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers, and peace and blessings, salutations to the whole elect out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the whole elect, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and what I want to get into today is dealing with this video, from the guy Shahid Boslin, and he went into a video going into how, they're rich off our money, and when he broke it down, it was a few eye-opening points, that he made, as this guy, breaks down, American culture, Western culture, and he breaks it down into a way to really see how, America was never for Americans. The America has been corrupted, for a long time. All right. And you go from the leadership, the government, the corporations, they was never for the American people. Okay. They pretty much act as vampires and suck the life, out of society. Okay. And they paint the delusion, with their enchantments and their witchcraft as if the people have the best deal ever. That's why they constantly push, this mantra, America, the best country to live in. America is, liberated and freedoms and values like no other. They constantly got to hype up America as if you're getting the best deal, and it's like the mindset of a con artist, to gain your trust, to make you feel as if you're getting the best deal. Okay, so I want to go into some things because dealing with Esau, Edom, all right, his nature, when you go to Genesis 25, all right, it speaks on his nature. This is Genesis 25 and 27, and this is, dealing with Jacob and Esau. Now, just dealing with Esau, it says, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. Now, when it speaks of this man being a cunning hunter, of course, when it comes to, being an outdoorsman and, hunting, game and, fishing and particular things, that this man, he has all type of devices, built just for hunting. Okay. All type of, traps and, bait and smells and scents and camouflage and, duck calls and, mating calls. Okay. But the number one thing that this man has mastered with the elites, see, because we talk about hunting, that's the Edomites we see in academy sports and Dick's Sporting Goods, okay, buying deer stands, okay. But these elites at the top, they hunt souls, they hunt spirits, okay, and they even trap, people, okay, with entertainment. Because you look at this word entertainment. Matter of fact, let's get it on Ellen online. Let's look at this word entertainment. Okay, it says entertainment. All right, it says entertainment says provision for support of a retainer, a manner of social behavior. Okay, it says manner of social behavior. So this entertainment is to keep people's mind in a retainer, to retain a certain way of thinking, and a retainer and entertainment has become a major escapism in this society, as, the quality of living is diminishing. People, cope with entertainment more than anything, whether it's trying to travel, whether it's trying to go on cruises or, the club scene or the nightlife or, movies or just shopping or buying, trying to buy, just any consumerism, because consumerism release endorphins. Okay, so one major way that people use entertainment and amusement is for escapism. Okay, and he's going to get into some of those things. All right. It says meaning. All right, the amusement of someone. All right, and it says sense. It says that which entertains. All right, it says that of public performance or display meant to amuse it. Okay. Say entertain. It says to keep up, to maintain, all right, in a certain frame of mind, to hold together, to stick together, to support. Okay, and we know this entertainment keeps people in a certain state of mind because it's an enchantment, man. And this society pushes heavy consumerism. Okay, like I say, that's people's number one coping mechanism is consumerism. Even if it's just overbuying on Amazon, like that's the mindset of people, is to consume as a way of comfort. Okay, as quality of life, is trending down. Because people have been detached from purpose, and they exist just to consume. This is a society that this man, has fabricated. Is a society where people don't have much purpose. They exist just to consume. Okay, so when you go to here in Revelation, then we'll go into the video and let him get into it. All right, so this is the book of Revelation chapter 18, and you start at verse 12, and it says, the merchandise of gold and silver. Well, I started at 11. Now this is after America is destroyed. Okay, and the reason why, these nations put up with what America does, not only because, America's military might, but also because of Americans' consumerism culture that these nations, okay, are getting rich off of. Like the earth gets rich off the consumer culture that the elites have created here. Okay, I think you have that guy Edward last name start with a B, Edward Bengay. You know, we probably can look at him, the father of propaganda, but he was famous for writing a lot of commercials that got Americans to be consumers. You know, women to smoke cigarettes. You know, the meat industry. You know, to where he pushed this concept of breakfast. You know, that concept of eating 3 meals a day. All that comes from, you know, propaganda. Okay, to create a consumerism society. Okay, so America, you know, has been the consumers of the earth. All right, that's why the majority of things are what imported. You know, America consumes the world's goods like no other. Okay, this is Revelation 18:11. It says, "And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore." Okay, and, and when America is destroyed, that's the cash cow of these nations, man. That's the bulk of their, you know, their merchandise goes here to America, man. Okay, from cars to clothes to you know, the coffee, the, you know, the wine, the liquor. You know, majority of that is imported. Okay, there's not much, you know, American made. When you go into a liquor store, you know, other than, you know, California, like most of the wine is imported. You know, you all these different uh, uh, strong drinks. Most of these things are important, man. You know, tequila. You know, that's an actual, you know, city in Mexico. Okay, cognac French. All right, there's an actual city in French where you get the Hennessy, the Remy. Okay, so this place is built off imports. Okay, it says the merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and of fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thine wood, all thine wood, and all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of precious wood and of brass and of iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men and souls of men. Okay, so this America has trapped the souls of men. You know, even abroad, the American influence has trapped, you know, the souls of men. But especially over here in the West, okay, this man being a cunning hunter, okay, has trapped the souls of men. You know, to be consumers, not to think. Okay, to be a slave, you know, to the lust. Okay, a slave to affording his empire, man. Okay, so let's go here. I want to get into the video, and we'll start back from the beginning, and we'll go from there. All right, yeah. So this is the guy Shaheed Bosley. All right, so it's about 10 minutes. You know, let him go in, and we'll make some points. You know, as he goes. All right.
You know, we always see headlines, you know, in the newspaper, the business news, or what have you. Company X made $10 billion in sales last year, or, you know, this or that blockbuster film made $160 million on its opening weekend, and so on and so on. That's not really what happened. I mean, that's a particular way of presenting what happened, but that's not really what happened. Companies don't make money. Companies take money. I mean, that $10 billion didn't fall from the sky. It came out of people's pockets. It came from the hard-earned wages of workers, laborers, regular people. It came from the household budgets of families. It came from you and I. That's where that money came from. I mean, take the movie industry, for example. As I said, the production budget of any major Hollywood film usually is around or more than $200 million. Okay, that sounds like an obscene amount of money, and we all think it's crazy. But here's the thing. You and I, the people, we pay exponentially more than that just to watch the movies. I mean, a film can actually recover its entire production budget in a single weekend. In July 2023, Barbie made $162 million in its first 3 days in the U.S. alone.
Just in America, global earnings crossed $1 billion within weeks. I mean, pause and reflect. $1 billion. Where did that money come from? Well, it came from us. It came from you and I. Collectively, we chose to part with that $1 billion just to watch a movie. Now think about that. How much do we, you and I, the people, how much do we collectively spend on entertainment annually, every year? Well, in 2022, the global entertainment and media market was valued at over $2.3 trillion. $2.3 trillion. You understand? That's more than the GDP of 200 countries around the world. Meanwhile, over 700 million people live on less than $2.15 a day. That's extreme poverty. You know, for many people, millions of people in the world, it's not about which movie to watch. It's not about what brand you're going to buy. It's about whether you're going to eat or not. You see the contradiction here. You see the problem here. You know, we rail against the obscene cost of producing blockbuster films, but we rarely question how we ourselves are complicit in that. I mean, if a company like Disney, say, or Universal or what have you, if they report $83 billion in annual revenue, that's not Disney's money. Whose money is that? It's our money. Spent on movies, on theme parks, on streaming subscriptions, merchandise, what have you. That's all our money. I mean, you know, when there's a famine, you always hear this. When there's a famine or something, people always say, it isn't that there isn't enough food for people to eat, even in that country. It's that the leaders are corrupt. Or there's a logistics problem of how to get the food to the people or what have you. Well, you know, we talk about the redistribution of wealth while we are redistributing our money to the wealthy every day by choice. Regular average people are able to mobilize over $2 trillion globally every year just to hand over to the entertainment industry. Imagine, you know, we talk about how obscene it is that they spend that much money on a Hollywood blockbuster, on a Hollywood movie. We talk about how disgusting that is, and we say, well, why couldn't they spend that money helping the poor? Well, they spend that money because they know you're going to pay them back. You're going to reimburse them all of the money that they spend making that movie, all of the hundreds of millions, tens of millions of dollars at least, that they spend making that movie. They know that you, the people, you and I, are going to reimburse them that money plus profit. They know they're going to make all that money back from us. But we ask, why don't they spend their millions helping the poor while we're spending our millions paying off their millions of what amounts to debt? We're paying off the rich's debt every day. We're choosing to do that instead of ourselves helping the poor, for example. We blame them for spending all of that money on a blockbuster movie when we're spending more than that to watch the blockbuster movie, when we could be spending our money helping each other, you know?
And the way he put it together, all right, you have to go into the numbers, okay? Because just look at, so let's start off with movies. Okay, let's just say I was a director, you know, or I wanted to do a movie, and I take out a $200 million loan, all right, to make a movie. So it's going to cover the production costs, you know, the actors. It's going to cover, you know, the marketing, you know, for the movie, the stunt doubles, you know, the production team, everything. $200 million. Well, it's a gamble that I'm taking that when I put the movie out, that the public is going to reimburse my loan that I owe to the bank. So if I put a movie out there, all right, and I spent 200 million making it, I took out a loan for 200 million to make it, and that movie, you know, in a week's time, all right, does 300 million in sales, well, the 200 million pays that loan back, and plus I can pocket 100 million, okay? Because everyone is paid for off the loan. Everything is paid for off the loan, you know? So once I make it past that loan, everything else is extra, okay? And on the flip side, you know, you have certain movies that they spend a lot of money on, and it doesn't make their money back, and now their debt is not covered, you know, and certain people can go in debt, you know. So the entertainment industry is based on the masses consuming, you know, it's based on the people consuming a product. Even with a rapper, All right, let's say a rapper. If I'm a CEO of a record label, and I spend 5 million to do an album, okay, for a rapper. Well, this is how those rappers get in debt, because these record labels put uh uh millions, behind certain artists when it comes to their marketing, their production, you know, and what they expect is for those rappers, all right, to make their 5 million back within shows and record sales. Okay. And if their album doesn't do, you know, what it's supposed to do to recoup, that money that the label spent, guess what? Cause see, this is what the label does. The label spend their money up front, but then it'll bank on the consumerism of the masses to pay for what they spent on their artist and plus profit. And if that artist doesn't make, all right, what they spent on him, at least what they spent, guess what? Guess who owes the money? Now the artist owes the label now. So now we spent 5 million on you as an artist and you only made 2 million. Well, you're indebted to 3 million. So we can try it again. We can try to do another project, but you're already 3 million in the hole, and we're gonna spend another 5 on you. So let's say you make 6 million when you go out there this time, but we done already spent 8 million on you, so you still 2 million in the hole. And these record labels, they'll be making their money, or breaking even or making profit, but the artists will go in debt. You see, before the artist can see money, the money that the label put behind him has to be, all right, recouped from the masses, okay, and then he has to be able to generate profit, all right, and that profit goes to the label first, and then they break the artist off on the back end. So this is a society that's based on the consumerism of the masses. Okay, NFL, NBA, it's all based on consumerism. Because you go to, okay, how much does the NFL make every Sunday? Okay. Um, sis says the NFL makes, uh, see to the numbers. Let me see. So you go here. So in 2023, the National Football League made 20.24 billion in revenue. Okay. Now, where did all this revenue come from? Okay. It comes from ticket sales, concession sales, parking, team stores, non-NFL event, media deals with ESPN, Fox, CBS, and then how does ESPN make their money? All right, through the cable networks, through the streaming networks. Who pays for the streaming? Who pays for the Amazon subscriptions? Who pays for the tickets? Who's paying for the the red zone package? Okay. You see? So you look into how these industries, these entertainment industries and sports industries are able to thrive. Okay. It's because of major consumerism. All these companies, ESPN, Fox, CBS, NBC, Amazon, YouTube, okay, all these things, all right, are being paid for by the masses, the consumers. Okay, you go to how much did the music industry make a year? So you go to the music industry in 2023, the global recorded music industry made 28.6 billion in revenue, while the U.S. music industry made 17.1 billion. Show you how much American music influences the earth. Okay, the reason why, guess who's putting these rappers in these cars, and here it is. These rappers that talk about how broke people are, but it's the broke masses that's making these men rich. First, it makes the label rich, and then if it's enough revenue to make the artist rich, the artist become rich. Okay, so here it is. You have these rappers, especially the female rappers, talking about broke niggas and broke that. Well, it's the broke masses that keep these people rich. Okay, because people are addicted. They're entertainment junkies, man. Okay, the fact that because we and we come from this culture. Some not as much, but we're in this culture. Because these things make us reevaluate ourselves and our priorities, because we've gone to which there's nothing with enjoying a good day, but these people have become junkies off of it, to where these Edomites are willing to gamble millions of dollars on the fact that people are going to consume. So they get in debt, all right, to the bank with the mindset that the consumer is gonna pay their debt off. You see, this is how it operates, man. Okay, and these devils do it on so many levels. All right, then you got the tax money. This is the money that's being spent after taxes, because the tax money that come from the working class, it goes mostly to wars. It funds the CIA, the coups. All right. What you think keeping every missile that the small hats shoot, that's money out of the American taxpayer. Every rocket that's fired in Ukraine is money from the American taxpayer. Okay, these CIA coups. Okay, these aircraft carriers that's floating around the earth, they all it costs. Okay, so this whole machine operates off the labor of the working class. You see, these people wouldn't be wealthy without the consumerism of the working class, man. Okay, so let's go here. Play a little more, then get a few more precepts.
We have to wrap our heads around this. Americans mobilized over $163 million in just 3 days in 2023 just to pay off everyone who invested in producing the movie Barbie. That's like a debt that's owed by the wealthy that you and I paid off for them. Please understand me. Imagine if even a fraction of that money, a fraction of that spending, could be redirected towards solving real problems. I mean, consider. According to UNESCO, it would take just $39 billion annually to provide quality education to every child on this planet. $39 billion. That's less than what Americans spend on Halloween costumes, on candy and decorations every year, just for that one holiday. Imagine if the billions that we pour into frivolous consumption, the amount that we pour into frivolous consumption could be reallocated towards housing the homeless, towards funding healthcare, towards empowering our communities. Why not? I mean, imagine the transformation that would cause. This isn't some utopian fantasy. It's literally just a matter of reordering our priorities. We don't actually have to wait for the government to do it, for any government to do it, for any politician to do it.
Look at this number. All right. In 2023, Americans spent a record $12.2 billion on Halloween, and there's just one day in October. $12.2 billion on Halloween. Okay. So you look at the money spent on entertainment. Okay, let's get some precepts. Okay, you get here to Matthew 6, and like I said, we come from that culture. Where we was entertainment crazy. We was caught up in amusement. And it's just the culture that we in. But when you step back and look at these things, it's like, God damn. Like the scam don't stop. You see, it might be a series. The scam don't stop. This is Matthew 6:21. It says, "For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." Okay, and people treasure entertainment and amusement. People love, celebrity gossip. People pay extra money just to go to a club that a celebrity is in. If Mayweather was hanging out at a club somewhere, well, the club could charge, $100, and people would pay just to say that they was in the club the same night as Floyd Mayweather. Okay, the bottles will go up. You see, VIP will go up. Okay, and guess what? The club paying Mayweather for coming, but then they're trying to recoup the money that they paid Mayweather for coming off the masses, off the people that's coming to the club, the people that's there every weekend supporting the club. Well, guess what? I'm finna give Floyd 100,000 to come chill for an hour, and I'm gonna charge y'all extra to try to cover that 100,000 I spent for Floyd Mayweather. You see, it's a consumer based society. The consumers pick up the tab in this society on everything from war to entertainment to infrastructures to consumers. All right, so it's the citizens that pick up the tabs. Okay, while the rich, recoup and get richer, man. Okay, but what people's treasure is, that's where their heart is, and people treasure, all right, entertainment and amusement, man. So that's why when you go here to Isaiah 47, okay, 47 uh and 8, it says, therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasure, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. So speaking on, when you read in the NLT, verse 8, Isaiah 47:8, it says, listen to this, you pleasure loving kingdom, living at ease and feeling secure. Okay, and this is a pleasure loving kingdom. Okay, and the scriptures warn us about these things, and this is why coming into the truth, it should put us in the spirit of being more conservative. Now we in hell, and there's nothing wrong with moving around at times, which we're in the times now to where everything is limited and it should be at a minimum, and being very circumspect. Okay, so we're here, so it's certain things, okay, that hey, we just got to deal with, because ultimately we need deliverance. At the end of the day, we just need deliverance. It's the only answer to the layers of madness that this man has established as a culture, man. Okay? But it says, listen to this, you pleasure loving kingdoms, living at ease and feeling secure. You say, I am the only one and there is none other. I will never be a widow or lose my children. And American society is so consumed, with just, love and pleasure, and there's a lot of people in America that nothing exists on earth but America, man. And what America has going on in it, and they stay in this false reality of entertainment and amusement. Okay, because you see a lot of people as they get older and live their party life for so long, they have no purpose, they haven't accomplished anything, and a lot of people go into depression and misery because their fantasy stops. you know what America is meant to keep you entertained, right? Keep in a certain mind frame, you know. You see, so when you go here, because I want to I looked this up too, because you have something what they call a Agorian culture, which that's the culture we come from. Okay, now you go to Agorian culture. That's why you read the Bible, it makes a lot of reverence, to the Agorian lifestyle. Going to the vineyard, okay, a good steward, going into the former and latter rain, okay, going into increasing 100-fold. Well, that's Agregorian talk, okay, which when you go into it says an agrarian culture is a society that relies on farming, all right, and agriculture as its primary economic activity In agrarian societies, people value the land and consider it their foundation. Okay? And as Esau has herded people to these cities, because it's convenient and people have all this convenience and free time, where he's able to shower them with what? Entertainment. Because you think about it, in these cities, you go give your labor to a company to make that company rich. Okay? And you barely make a living. And then off your budget that you make from this one company, you go make the other companies richer. So our whole existence is meant to make corporations richer. That's it. Because you go labor for one company. Let's say you work for Amazon. Well, you work for Amazon, but then you have to pay. Let's say AT&T is your phone and your internet provider. All right, so you work for Amazon, but you have to pay AT&T. Okay, you have to pay an insurance company. You have to pay a light company. You have to pay a water company. Okay, you have to pay a mortgage to bank. Okay, you have to pay a car note. You see, so you're going to labor to make a company wealthy, and then the income that you get from that company that you're making wealthy, you have to divide it and make other companies wealthy, and that's just the bills. And after the bills, what's left? Entertainment. you know so you're living check to check. All right, society is built for most people to live check to check while making corporations richer, man. You see, but when you go to an agrarian culture where the economy is the land, all right, because you can build an empire off a few acres. You see, if you had your own livestock, okay, you had your own vineyards, okay, where you can make your own wine and strong drink. And you see, people that lived in that agrarian culture, okay, they could become wealthy, okay, off the land, or they could be well off the land. You see, because you go into it, it says the traditional gender roles, okay, the man, all right, and the woman, and cultural values are common. Social division of labor is limited, and roles, all right, are based on birth status. Because remember, you read the book of Judith. Now, Judith was wealthy, all right, and her husband was well off, because they had servants, but it spoke about how her husband died. He died working, so you will see, the owner, of the land, and sometimes he will be working right alongside his workers. Boaz, okay, Boaz, everybody talk to, I want my Boaz. Well, Boaz was rich because he lived in a agrarian culture. Okay, you go into our forefathers, they were wealthy based off an agrarian culture. Job, it go into Job's wealth, they say close to $1 billion. Well, that was because he was rich, all right, in an agrarian culture. Let's get that. When you go to the book of Job, all right, I think it go into what he yep. So you go to Job, all right, this is Job 42:10. It says, when Job prayed for his friends, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Al-Shah restored his fortunes. In fact, the Lord gave him twice as much as before. Then all his brothers, sisters, and former friends came and feasted with him in his home, and they consoled him and comforted him because of the trials that the Lord had brought against him. And each of them brought him a gift of money and a gold ring. And see, they go, because he talks about that, that community wealth, how the wealth, stayed in the community. You had economy amongst your community. Okay, you didn't go labor for a company and then go give your income to multiple companies, right, and spend your rest on entertainment to another company. Okay, no, the labor that you put in, all right, it stayed within that community. Okay, and it says, so the Lord blessed Job in the second half of his life, even more than in the beginning. For he had 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, 100 says 1,000 teams of oxen, and 1,000 female donkeys. Okay, he also gave Job 7 more sons and 3 more daughters. So what did Job increase in? This was an agrarian, all right, culture that he was wealthy in. Okay, he didn't have to go invest in stocks and Bitcoin, and have to work 30 years and get a 401k pension. No, okay, he was increased, okay, in the agrarian culture. All right, King Solomon, how was he able to feast with his whole house? All his wives and children and servants. How was they able to feast like that? Because it was an agrarian culture. Okay. Well, agriculture was the economy. 1 Kings 4 and 20 said Judah and Israel were many as the sand which is by the sea in multitude, eating and drinking and making merry. Okay, and this is in the agrarian society. And Solomon reigned over all kingdoms from the river unto the land of the Philistines and unto the border of Egypt. And they brought presents and served Solomon all the days of his life. And Solomon's provision for one day were 30 measures of fine flour and 3 measures of meal, and this is all fresh food daily. 10 fat oxen and 20 oxen out of the pasture, and 100 sheep, besides harts and roebucks and fallow deer and fatted owl. Okay, so how was he able to have this provision daily? Okay, because they was rich in the agrarian culture. Okay, agriculture. That's why the promised land is what? The land of milk and honey, resources, fertile land. You see? And this is what we're going back to in the kingdom. Okay, and we're gonna have our technology, we're gonna have our luxury, okay, but it's gonna be based off of agrarian culture, not this scheme, okay, that we call a society today. It's not this scam of a society today. Okay. You even go here. Let's get this in Genesis. Is it 20 dealing with Isaac? Yep. So this is I want to get to the point. Yep, this is Genesis 26:12. It says, when Isaac planted his crops that year, he harvested 100 times more grain than he planted, for the Lord blessed him. He became a very rich man, and his wealth continued to grow. Because in the agrarian society, there's nobody, all right, that's you don't have an IRS keeping up with how much you increase. That's between you and the Lord. All right. And in our culture, you will give, a tenth of what you had, all right, to the priest, because that was the priest's salary, because all they did was serve the Lord in the temple and handle the duties of the temple, which there was a connection between Israel and the Most High, was that Levitical priesthood back then. Okay. But it wasn't no government overseeing what you made and telling you how much you owed at the end of the year. Okay. You weren't being taxed every week. Okay, based on man, you gave the first fruits, or your increase you would give. Okay, you didn't have to have a company. You didn't have a water bill. You didn't have a light bill. You didn't have a car note. You didn't have none of these things, man. Okay, your increase was what the Lord wanted you to have. Okay, and you have forefathers become wealthy off that agrarian, all right, culture, man. Okay. And you go here, and even in wealth, there was still an order, because you go here to let's get this, the book of The book of Sirach. This is in the GNT, verse 18 and 30. It said, don't be controlled by your lust, okay? Keep your passion in check, okay? Don't be controlled by your lust, but keep your passion in check. If you allow yourself to satisfy your every desire, you will be a joke to your enemies, all right? And you look at how the elites look at the people as a joke, all right? Because they know they train the culture of consumers, okay? That they can do anything they want, okay, as far as corruption, but long as people have the ability to consume, okay, and feed their flesh and their lust, they're cool. Cause there was more of an uproar about TikTok being banned than about the 40 billion that's going to Ukraine, the hundreds of billions that go to Ukraine. Okay, American taxpayer dollar. Okay, because the TikTok is what entertainment, amusement. Okay, when AT&T had the situation with their phone, it was an uproar about that. But there's no uproar about the serious matters of things, man, because people are entertainment junkies, man. Okay, and when bread and circus is cut off, that's when you're gonna see true civil unrest, man. You know, when the bread they can't eat how they want, all right, and the entertainment is cut off, you're gonna see people lose it. Okay, it said verse 32 said, "Don't indulge in luxurious living. All right, the expense of it will ruin you." Okay, and you have people going in debt to try to maintain a lifestyle. People taking cruises off credit cards. Okay, people going on these trips on credit cards. People are still paying from vacations 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago. Okay, people are tied to a certain way of life, and they're tied to the expenses of their lifestyle. Okay, and the elites know this, man. These corporations, they know this. Okay, it says, don't make yourself a beggar by borrowing for expensive banquets when you don't have enough money on your own. All right, and people going into debt, you know, just to be entertained. You see, to be amused. Okay, so this is how we're not, you know, to be. Now we do what we can. We in this society. Okay, and you know we got you know, hey, it is what it is. You know, just do the best, you know, in your situation. You know, always, you know, examine everything and see what can be done better. Okay, but these people, this is their life. You know, entertainment and amusement is their life, man. You know, but we don't come from that. That's not us. How we move. Okay, but yeah, that's the point. You know, just wanted to get into that. You know, Lord will. All right, you brothers. All right, and you sisters edified once again. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect Shalom.